A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 305. In the previous episode, Han Li arrived at the entrance of the deadly Devilfall Valley, only to witness a tense and unexpected gathering. The Ghost Spirit Sect was setting up a massive, ancient spell formation, and to his shock, wuxia, the powerful elder of the Nine Nations Union, appeared, now seemingly allied with the sect. As the formation took shape, Han Li realized the valley's challenges were far greater than he had imagined, and any conflict inside could force him to flee. At the heart of the formation, the Ghost Spirit Sect's master, Wang Tiansheng, revealed a rare, high-grade spirit stone powering a one-way transportation formation. Only those with a Devilfall medallion could enter, and with the risk of ending up in spatial tears. The journey promised danger and uncertainty. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. After hearing the Ghost Spirit Sect master mention the ancient teleportation formations, a few cultivators rejoiced at his words while others remained skeptical. After all, few truly knew of the internal situation of Devilfall Valley. To reassure everyone, Wang Tiansheng decided to send Quanzi and Elder Zhang across first, signaling that the rest would follow afterwards. Wang Chan, wearing a silver mask, and Yan Ruyan stepped forward, positioning themselves beside the mid-Nascent Soul Elder in the center of the formation. At Wang Tiansheng's command, the cultivators around the formation pointed their flags downward, unleashing arm-thick beams of rainbow-colored light that shot toward the formation. The entire array began to hum, and the surrounding spirit stones glowed brightly, illuminating the area. The spectacle stirred a mixture of awe and caution among the nearby cultivators. But Wang Tiansheng seemed indifferent, his attention fixed on the proceedings. Wang Tianggu led 8 core formation cultivators toward the spell formation, further emphasizing that only 3 people could be teleported at a time. This limitation meant the Ghost Spirit Sect would need to enter the valley in batches. Observing this, many cultivators felt tempted to follow, but caution prevailed. They hesitated, unwilling to be the first in case the formation proved unsafe. Remembering the sect's mediocre reputation and the potential for disaster, Han Li stood atop a mound, surveying the scene with a calm, analytical gaze. Wang Tiansheng let out a cold laugh, clearly amused at the hesitancy of the other cultivators. He raised his arms to the sky, stirring the atmosphere, and the valley fell into an uneasy silence. Meanwhile, the Molan began to move forward. Over 10 spell warriors, silently and efficiently, approached the formation behind the scholarly-looking Elder Zhang and the woman surnamed Le. A flicker of black energy crossed Wang Tiansheng's face at the sight, but it vanished quickly. Wuxia, taciturn as ever, maintained his calm composure as he observed Elder Zhang. Before the Molan spell warriors could enter the formation, Elder Zhang flicked his sleeve, sending over 10 streaks of azure light into the sky. Wang Tiansheng caught the streaks, revealing tens of medallions, confirming the number of cultivators ready for teleportation. Recognizing the identity of the divine sage, Wang Tiansheng gave a measured approval. Elder Zhang led the spell warriors forward, entering the formation in groups of 3. Before stepping inside, he casually remarked to wuxia, "If the target location of this transportation formation is random, it would be best if your sect's disciples do not encounter us." Wuxia responded calmly, "How could something so convenient happen in this world? If such a thing occurs, it can only be by the will of the heavens." Elder Zhang chuckled coldly. "The will of heavens? Then so be it," he said, disappearing in white light with 2 of his juniors. Wang Tiansheng, noting the empty formation, allowed the remaining cultivators to proceed. Seeing the Molan safely use the formation encouraged the other cultivators. One by one, they took out their Devilfall medallions and stepped forward. Over the course of several minutes, the formation flickered repeatedly, teleporting more than 300 people into Devilfall Valley. The central high-grade spirit stone had begun to dim, its energy nearly spent. Han Li observed the flow of cultivators with quiet attention, noting their movements and identities. His gaze fell on 6 green-robed cultivators approaching the formation, led by the controlling Spirit Sect's Grand Elder, Dongmen Tu. Han Li had no fondness for Dongmen Tu, recalling the Molan spy incident involving Jiyu Shuangpu. Though powerful, Han Li remained cautious, especially when the 5 green-robed cultivators escorting Dongmen Tu suddenly turned to look at him. His assimilated second Nascent Soul stirred violently, but Han Li quickly regained control through sheer concentration. Using his spiritual sense, he scrutinized the 5 cultivators, realizing they were early Nascent Soul practitioners giving off a similar energy signature to his own second Nascent Soul. This revelation made him frown, unsure of their origins. Dongmen Tu noticed the strange behavior of his escorts and exchanged a brief glance with Han Li. Showing a trace of astonishment before pretending nothing had happened, Wang Tianggu, witnessing the scene, was equally shocked at the presence of 5 Nascent Soul cultivators accompanying Dongmen Tu. Wei Wuya also studied them carefully, a pensive expression on his face. Curious about the unfamiliar cultivators, Wang Tiansheng asked Dongmen Tu to introduce them, but Dongmen Tu evaded the question, claiming he would do so after their Devilfall Valley affairs concluded. Wang Tiansheng, unwilling to waste time, ordered the teleportation of the 6 Nascent Soul cultivators in 2 groups. Dongmen Tu's parting glance toward Han Li carried a subtle malice, indicating he had sensed the spirit nascent within Han Li. Han Li, aware of this, realized he would have to be extremely cautious in the valley, especially since his wood spirit nascent was not yet fully assimilated. Shortly after Dongmen Tu's group disappeared, another trio teleported behind them, including Senior Marshal Brother Cheng and 2 other aging Nascent Soul cultivators. Han Li watched them leave, his expression calm yet observant, before turning his attention to the Spirit Stone, now nearly devoid of light. Without hesitation, Han Li ascended into the sky in a streak of azure light. Approaching the formation, he tossed his Devilfall medallion toward Wang Tiansheng. Wei Wuya appeared beside him, slightly distant. Fellow Taoist Han, you have also arrived. With your youth, your potential is limitless. There is no need to brave such danger, he said. Han Li replied respectfully, many thanks, Brother Wei, but I have my reasons for entering Devilfall Valley. Wei Wuya studied him for a long moment before nodding solemnly. Since you have decided, I will not speak further. I only hope our goals do not conflict, he said, vanishing back to his original position. Wang Tiansheng, recognizing Han Li, examined him closely, recalling his past encounters. Han Li had once escaped Wang Chan's grasp during their Foundation establishment days and had since grown into a Nascent Soul cultivator of formidable reputation, feared even among the 3 great Heavenly South cultivators. Now, Han Li stood resolute at the center of the formation, eyes closed, expression neutral, leaving no opening for interference. With a controlled wave of his hand, Wang Tiansheng activated the formation, sending Han Li through the teleportation process. The journey left Han Li with a brief unease, but he quickly regained his bearings upon arrival. He found himself near a mostly collapsed stone cliff, surrounded by overgrown grass reaching half his height. In the distance, a chain of short, unbroken hills stretched across the horizon. There was no one in sight, though this was unsurprising, as Devilfall Valley spanned hundreds of thousands of kilometers. If 2 people were not teleported together, it would be incredibly difficult to find them. When Han Li turned around to look around about him, he couldn't help but wear an astonished expression. In this episode, we saw Han Li and many other cultivators preparing to enter Devilfall Valley through the ancient teleportation formation. The Ghost Spirit Sect led the way, sending their disciples in groups while other cultivators hesitated, wary of potential dangers. Han Li carefully observed everyone, noticing powerful Nascent Soul cultivators, including Dongmen Tu and his mysterious escorts, and realized he would need to stay alert inside the valley. Ultimately, Han Li stepped into the formation himself, arriving at a remote and overgrown area of Devilfall Valley, filled with awe at the vast and dangerous landscape that awaited him. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of Immortal's Journey to Immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive the latest updates on Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.